Level 1. The new crew member. You step onto the cruise ship with a suitcase in one hand and a contract you barely understand in the other. Above you, the ship rises like a floating city. Glass balconies shine in the morning sun. Music drifts from the pool deck. Guests roll their luggage across polished floors, already smiling like vacation has begun. Then a crew member points you away from the grand staircase. Crew entrance is this way. You follow him through a narrow door marked for staff only. The carpet disappears. The ceiling gets lower. The air changes from perfume and sea breeze to metal, detergent, warm pipes, and engine vibration under your shoes. Down below, the hallways are tight. The lights are plain. Your cabin has no window, 2 bunks, 1 small locker, and barely enough room to turn around. Upstairs, passengers are entering paradise. Down here, you are entering work. How far can you climb when paradise for everyone else becomes your workplace? Level 2, the laundry runner. Your first real job is below the guest decks, where the ship stops feeling like a resort and starts feeling like a machine. The laundry room is hot. Not warm. Hot. The kind of heat that sticks to your neck and turns your uniform damp before the shift has really started. Industrial washers spin behind you. Dryers rumble. Steam rises from carts stacked with towels, sheets, pillowcases, table linens, and crew uniforms. Everything is white. White towels, white sheets, white shirts, white napkins, white laundry bags. And all of it has to move. You push a heavy cart through a narrow crew hallway, wheels squeaking over metal flooring. The ceiling is low, pipes run overhead. Crew members from every department pass you without slowing down. Cooks, cleaners, waiters, technicians, dancers, security officers, all moving through the hidden veins of the ship. Guests never see this place. They only see the fresh towel folded on the bed, the clean napkin at dinner, the robe waiting in the cabin, the illusion that everything appears by magic. But there is no magic. There is sweat. There are sore hands from pulling wet sheets out of machines. There are shoulders aching from pushing carts around corners too tight for carts. There is the smell of detergent, hot fabric, and metal. There is the constant fear of being late because a delayed laundry cart can slow housekeeping, dining service, and guest satisfaction before anyone above deck knows why. By the end of the shift, your arms feel heavier than your suitcase did on the day you boarded. But you also understand something important. On a cruise ship, luxury depends on things no guest is supposed to notice. And for now, you are one of those things. But soon you will leave the laundry room and step closer to the cabins where guests actually sleep. Level 3, the cabin steward assistant. You move closer to the guest world when you become a cabin steward assistant. Now your work is still invisible, but it happens behind doors that guests open every day. Your supervisor gives you a list of cabins, a cart full of towels, sheets, soaps, tissues, water bottles, and tiny folded papers with cheerful cruise messages. The hallway is quiet at first, carpeted and soft. Nothing like the metal crew corridors below. You can hear the ocean only faintly through balcony doors. Then the guests leave for breakfast. And the clock starts. You enter the first cabin and the perfect vacation disappears. Towels on the floor, sand near the balcony, half-open suitcases, makeup on the counter, wet swimsuits hanging over chairs, crumbs on the carpet. A bed twisted into something that looks impossible to remake quickly. But you do not react. You strip the sheets, replace the towels, wipe the mirror, empty the trash, straighten the pillows, fold the blanket, refill the bathroom, and make the room look as if no human mess ever existed. Then you do it again. And again. Cabin after cabin, your hands get faster. Your back starts to ache. The hallway cart becomes your little moving station, your shield, your whole world. Sometimes a guest passes and smiles without really seeing you. Sometimes they do not smile at all. What does it feel like to make a room perfect for people who will never know your name? By the end of the day, the cabins look peaceful again. But you know the truth. Paradise resets itself only because someone works faster than the mess can return. Level 4. The Galley Helper. You enter the galley through a service door and feel the heat before you understand the scale of the place. This is not a kitchen, it is a factory that feeds people who believe they are on vacation. Stainless steel stretches in every direction. Trays slide across metal counters. Knives hit cutting boards in sharp rhythms. Steam rises from giant pots. Crew members move around one another with the speed of people who have no space to waste. The floor is never fully dry. Your job begins with the smallest tasks. Carry boxes from storage, wash vegetables, stack trays, move pans, refill containers, clean spills before someone slips. Stay out of the chef's way unless he calls your name. But even small tasks feel urgent here. Breakfast becomes lunch before you can breathe. Lunch becomes prep for dinner. Dinner becomes late-night snacks. Somewhere above you, guests sit near windows looking at the ocean while plates arrive in front of them as if the ship itself has produced food from nothing. Down here there is no ocean view. Only heat, noise, and time. A server rushes in asking where the gluten-free meals are. A cook shouts for more plates. A tray nearly tips near the pass. You catch it with both hands, heart jumping, while someone behind you says, "Good, keep moving." That is the praise you get. Not applause, just permission to survive another rush. And soon you will leave the hidden heat of the galley and step into the dining room where the guests can finally see your face. Level 5. The Dining Room Server. The first time you step into the main dining room as a server, you feel like you have crossed into another world. The ceiling is high, the lights are warm, silverware shines on white tablecloths. Glasses catch the reflection of the ocean outside the windows. Guests arrive dressed for dinner, laughing, taking photos, talking about excursions, sunsets, cocktails, and shows. You are wearing a clean uniform now. Your shoes still hurt. Your back still remembers the laundry carts and the galley heat. But your face cannot show any of that. You learn table numbers, menu items, allergies, wine requests, birthdays, complaints, accents, habits, and names. Some guests are kind, some treat you like part of the furniture. Some ask where you are from, then forget the answer before dessert. You smile anyway. A child spills juice across the table. A guest sends back a steak. Another says the soup is not hot enough. Someone waves at you while you're already carrying 5 plates. Your tray feels heavy, your wrist aches, and the kitchen is calling for runners. But service cannot look like struggle. That is the rule. To the guests, dinner must feel effortless. Food appears, plates vanish, glasses refill, napkins fold, problems dissolve before they become memories. How long can you smile when your whole body wants to disappear below deck? At the end of the night, the dining room empties. The ocean is dark beyond the glass. You clear the last table and realize that working in front of guests does not make you less invisible. It only means you must hide yourself better. Level 6, the Guest Services Agent. You move to guest services when the ship decides you are ready to stand at the place where every problem becomes a face. The desk looks calm from a distance. Polished counter, soft lighting, a neat sign. A line of guests waiting with room cards, phones, receipts, and expressions that tell you the conversation has already started badly in their heads. Your uniform is cleaner now. Your posture is straighter. You're no longer pushing carts or carrying plates. But the weight is different. A guest says her luggage never arrived. Another says his room card stopped working. A family missed their shore excursion because the meeting point changed. Someone demands a refund because the sea was rough. Someone else insists the charge on their account is wrong. You did not lose the bag, you did not change the weather, you did not design the billing system, but you are the person standing in front of them. So you listen. You apologize without admitting what you cannot admit. You type notes into the system. You call housekeeping, dining, security, shore excursions, maintenance. You learn that guest services is less about having answers and more about absorbing anger until an answer can be found. Behind every smile is a calculation. Can this be fixed? Can this be moved? Can this be refunded? Can this guest be calmed before the complaint climbs higher? What happens when every complaint lands on you, even when none of it is your fault? By the end of the shift, your feet hurt less than before, but your face hurts from smiling. And soon you will step away from complaints and become part of the ship's entertainment. The place where happiness is not just expected, but performed. Level 7, the entertainment staff. You become entertainment staff when the ship decides your smile is strong enough to be seen by everyone. Now your workplace is the pool deck, the theatre, the lounge, the karaoke room, the game show stage, the atrium, the sail-away party, anywhere guests expect energy to appear on command. Your uniform changes again, brighter colours, cleaner shoes, a name tag that more guests actually read. You are no longer only serving the vacation. You are becoming part of it. The first pool deck event starts under a hard blue sky. Music blasts from speakers. The water flashes with sunlight. Guests sit with drinks, sunglasses, towels, and sunscreen, waiting for someone to turn the afternoon into a memory. That someone is you. You hold the microphone. Your voice comes out too loud at first, then steadier. You lead the trivia game. You laugh at jokes that are not funny. You clap until people clap with you. You call names, explain rules, give prizes, and keep the energy moving even when the crowd is slow, drunk, sunburned, or simply not interested. By evening, your throat is dry. Your cheeks ache. Your feet burn inside shoes that look much more comfortable than they are. But the schedule does not care. There is karaoke after dinner, a dance event after that, a late-night game show. Tomorrow you do it again. Guests say, "You must have the best job on the ship." You smile because that is part of the job too. But behind the smile you understand something. On a cruise ship, happiness is not only served, it is performed. And the performer does not get to look tired. Level 8. The department supervisor. You become a department supervisor when you stop being responsible only for your own smile. Now you're responsible for other people's smiles too. Your day begins before the guests wake up. You stand in a narrow crew office with a schedule in one hand and a radio clipped to your belt. Names, shifts, cabins, complaints, sick calls, late arrivals, missing supplies. Everything moves toward you before it moves anywhere else. A cabin steward says his section is short one person. A server says 2 guests complained about cold food. An entertainment host says she lost her voice. A laundry cart is late. A guest wants a manager. A crew member asks for a schedule change because he has not called home in 2 weeks. You understand all of them. That is what makes it worse. You know how heavy the laundry carts feel. You know what it means to smile through dinner service. You know how empty a crew cabin can feel after midnight, when the ship is full of people celebrating and you are too tired to speak. But now sympathy alone is not enough. You move people around. You cover gaps. You calm guests. You remind crew members of standards while knowing they are exhausted. You protect them when you can, push them when you must, and hide the cracks before they reach the passenger decks. This is the first rank where you see paradise as a system, not a place. A system made of schedules, labour, silence, and people pretending they are not tired. How do you lead people who are paid to create happiness while losing pieces of their own? Above this level, you will no longer manage only one department. You will manage the illusion of the entire ship. Level 9. The hotel manager. When you become the hotel manager, the ship stops looking like a ship. It becomes a floating city of expectations. Every passenger cabin, every dining room, every bar, every lounge, every show, every complaint, every review, every dollar spent on board, all of it moves through your world now. You do not carry laundry carts anymore. You do not fold towels into animals. You do not run plates from the galley. But every towel, every plate, and every smile still becomes your responsibility. Your office sits behind the polished guest areas, close enough to hear music from the atrium, far enough that guests rarely see the screens, reports, radios, and tired faces behind the curtain. The morning report is waiting before your coffee cools, guest satisfaction scores. Room issues, dining delays, bar revenue, crew shortages, a maintenance problem on Deck 7, a family demanding compensation, a VIP guest unhappy with their suite, a weather change that may cancel tomorrow's port stop. One small problem on land might stay small. At sea, it spreads. A delayed room cleaning becomes a front desk complaint. A front desk complaint becomes a bad review. A bad review becomes a meeting. A meeting becomes pressure on supervisors, who pass that pressure down to workers already running on too little sleep. You walk through the passenger decks with a calm face. Guests see a manager in a clean jacket. Crew members see the person who can make their shift better or worse. When an entire floating hotel depends on invisible labor, who really keeps paradise alive? Soon you will step onto the stage where everyone sees you smiling. But by then you will know exactly what that smile costs. Level 10, the cruise director. At the top, the guests finally know your name. They see you on the main stage standing under bright lights with a microphone in your hand. They hear your voice over the ship's speakers. They recognize you in the atrium, near the theatre, by the pool deck, in the hallway before dinner. To them you are the face of the cruise. The energy, the welcome, the proof that everything is fun. But you know what is underneath the applause. You know the laundry room heat. You know the cabin hallways before breakfast. You know the galley rush. You know the guest services desk after a cancelled excursion. You know the crew members who smile upstairs then sit silently in the crew mess, because they have nothing left to say. Your job now is to protect the dream. Bad weather? You turn it into an announcement with warmth. A delayed show. You make the crowd laugh. Angry guests? You keep the mood from breaking. Exhausted staff? You thank them quickly, then ask for one more event, one more smile, one more perfect night. The ship is moving through dark water outside, but inside the theatre the lights are golden. The music is rising, and hundreds of guests are waiting for you to make them feel like this vacation was worth it. You lift the microphone. You smile. And for a moment everyone believes, after climbing every rank, do you run the dream? Or has the dream learned how to use you? You begin at the bottom, below the guest decks, where the ship smells like detergent, metal, hot pipes and work. You push laundry carts through narrow halls. You clean cabins no one knows you touched. You carry trays through galley heat, smile through dinner service, absorb complaints at guest services, and perform happiness under lights even when your body wants silence. Then you climb. You supervise departments. You manage the floating hotel. You become the face of the cruise itself. But every level teaches you the same truth. Paradise does not run on ocean views alone. It runs on invisible hands, tired feet, practiced smiles, and people who sleep in windowless rooms while others wake up to balconies and blue water. So the next time you see a cruise ship glowing at night, ask yourself, how many people are working beneath that light so someone else can feel free? If this journey made you see cruise ships differently, like the video, share it, and comment which hidden world you want to experience next.